It's that time of year, one of my favorites, when the freshest foods are popping up from the ground and they're making their way to your local farmer's market or roadside stand. And I want to help you navigate this upcoming outdoor food shopping season with my 5 strategies and 11 benefits of farmer's market shopping today on the Carefree Cooks Code. I'm Chef Todd Moore, and this is the Carefree Cooks Code, every Tuesday live at noon Eastern. Here's our challenge. How can home cooks cook freely with creativity, confidence, and pride while ignoring recipes and still impressing themselves and others with what they cook? Well, the answer is found in becoming empowered with how cooking works, using dependable and repeatable methods of cooking that work for any ingredient, for any diet, and any desire, just like chefs do. And we'll know we've cracked it when everyone sees cooking as an exciting and rewarding way to improve their relationships, their lifestyles, and their health through better food and cooking. This is the Carefree Cooks Code. Hey, whoa. Hey, welcome back to the Carefree Cooks Code, everyone. This is the free public weekly show for the methods, the techniques, the insights into better food and cooking. We're live every Tuesday at noon right here on my Chef Todd Moore page on Facebook. Since it's a free class for the public, you can share it with as many people as you like. Maybe you'll hear someone that's having problems today and think, I need to tell my friend about that. And if you yourself would like a private email reminder of when I'm going live, sign up at webcookingclasses.com/live. If you want to see what I'm cooking, evidently nothing. If you want to see what I'm cooking and how I did it, you can follow me on Instagram. I had some dental stuff done, so I'm not cooking anything. I didn't think you'd want to see pureed soups and avocado, whatever. Look, it hasn't been an exciting food week for me because I've had to eat everything soft, but I still got to remind myself, buck up, Todd. You're a carefree cook. You create your own recipes. Yes, you do. You bring friends and family together. Sometimes. You learn every time you cook because you're creating your own cooking style by practicing pro methods, and you wind up loving your cooking. Hey, everybody. I get excited about this time of year. The doldrums of winter, the food. Winter has its own cooking. I love my stews and chilies and stuff, but it's finally farmer's market season. Oh my goodness. Wherever you are, in the northern hemisphere, that is, not my friends down under. In the northern hemisphere, the options for local and fresh food are about to get much better. Stuff's coming out of the ground, okay? Your local market is going to be opening soon. Those roadside stands that you just blow by are going to be opening soon. And now is the time to start checking them out and maybe thinking about adjusting your buying habits from the winter buying habits. Because now is the time you need the freshest foods because they give you the best health and wellness. And now is the time you should be shopping outdoors as much as possible. No? Yeah, and now is the time to support the people around you who are working hard to grow your food. Support them, and now is the time to get a strategy together for your farmer's market shopping so you can enjoy all the benefits of getting your food there. And no, that was the last one. The world is in a massive state of change, no? Global food commerce, supply chains, I don't think they'll ever be the same. And people are looking to their own areas. They're looking to their own neighborhoods, even their own backyards to assure that their food is safest and freshest. So we're going to dive into this today. But first, I've got a true or false for you here today. True or false? Peaches will continue to ripen after they're picked. True or false? Can you pick peaches, sit them on the counter, and they actually get sweeter? True or false in the comments section below. Okay, so I get a little nutty about the farmer's market, right? Didn't turn this off. There we go. Still got music going. You've seen me this time of year. I get a little nutty about the farmer's market. I get really kind of worked up when I can get back to eating from as close to my home as possible. I had asparagus last night that are like from down the street. Best asparagus I've ever had, but that's an aside. very soft, steamed asparagus, by the way. Now, all the stuff that got planted a few weeks ago, it's coming up. And what I see is not just vegetables, I see inspirations. When something new and exciting comes to me, I see an inspiration for a fantastic original dish as soon as I can go get it from the farmer and bring it back to my kitchen, right? So to me, the farmer's market is like a paint store for an artist. It's like a new strings for a guitarist. It's new air being put into my cooking, and that's why I love it so much. So if you love the freshest local food, if you love cooking with the ingredients that have the best flavor, let's be honest, if you love getting the most nutrition and health out of your food and cooking, come on, there is no reason left to be avoiding your local market, because I've got 5 strategies and 11 benefits of shopping at the farmer's market that will get you as excited about the coming season as I am. It starts with going commando. Now, what's so exciting about that? Go commando. No. That doesn't mean leave your underwear at home. That means you go listless. You go without a list. Like you go to the grocery store shopping, you got your list, right? Go to the farmer's market, go without a list. Create meals from what you find there. That's what makes it so exciting. You are not going to find everything on your list. You will find things that are not on your list. So what's the sense of having a list? Just go find the foods that look good, come home and make them. Number 2, talk to the farmers. They know what's freshest. They know how to use it. Actually talk to these people. You can't talk to the grocery clerk. They don't know where the food came from. At the farmer's market, you can identify the freshest choices. You can look at things. After talking to the farmer, you can consider how an item grows. So if you have asparagus like I had, that was straight and tall with tight heads. They weren't mushy. It wasn't falling over. The bottoms were moist and composed. They weren't stalky and fraying like you see at the grocery store. If you get mushy flowers on your broccoli, if you have stalky brown ends on your lettuce, if you shake a pepper and there are loose seeds inside, these are things that have traveled great distances. You're not going to find them at your local farmer's market when it was probably picked within hours, if not a day. The other thing about the farmer's market is you need proper storage. You know, these are very valuable items and you're spending hard-earned money on it. You need to protect your investment in the food. I mean, heck, I've already made an analogy of painting or musician. If I were a guitarist, if I were a musician and I gathered the best guitars, I wouldn't leave them out in the backyard to get rained on. I wouldn't suffocate them in a plastic bag in the bottom drawer of the refrigerator. I would treat them, protect them well. Asparagus gets stood up in water. Broccoli, anything with a stalk, stood up, covered in water. Lettuce is allowed to breathe loosely. Protect your storage. Next thing is, if you're going to the farmer's market, bring your cooking methods in your head, because you're going to want to match the cooking method to the right food, because this enables you to highlight the natural flavor of the food. I saw someone comment on one of my videos the other day, I just depend on the spices. I let the spices do it all. Yeah, it might be too late by then, but you know what? You don't need any spices if you're getting the freshest, most wholesome, most flavorful food, and you're cooking it in the right way. That's the idea. Okay, so fair, all of this stuff might be a learning curve in there. Getting the courage to talk to the farmer, it might be hard for some people. Not everybody's comfortable just walking up to somebody. Shopping without a list, that might really scare you. You might need the security of your list. So, you know, it's not immediately apparent to everyone which item is the freshest at the market. Not everybody knows immediately how to store what, whether they need to breathe or retain moisture, or even how to cook it. But these things can be learned, right? That's the idea. And I would be really excited to be the person to help you out with that. And that's why we got stuff like today. That's why we sit in my office here and we have things like the Carefree Cooks Code, so that everybody who wants to enjoy great food and cooking can have the information that helps them the most. It's pretty much why I've done everything I've done for the past 14 years now. to share the great pride I have, the freedom that comes with enjoying your food and cooking so much. I want to share it with everybody. I'm dying to all the time. But once you start your journey toward carefree cooking, once you start to gather these skills, then you can enjoy all the benefits of local food. I consider this tech migration, technology migration, except it's not technology migration, it's food migration. You know what technology migration is, right? Tech migration? Yeah, sure you do. Yeah, I know you know what it is. You've lived it. You've been through it. Okay, let's give you a test. Let's see how far back we can go. Let me ask you this. Did you own 45 RPM records? And raise your hand if you owned a 45. If you don't know what this thing is, if you do know what this thing is, then you most definitely did own a 45. So let me ask you this. Your 45 RPM records, one day, were they replaced by 8-track tapes? This cool new product that fit in your car, your mid-70s Chevy, and you could push the button and change the tracks, right? Wasn't it really cool? And then how hard was it when you had to transfer everything over onto cassette tapes and they needed to be rewound and turned over? But even the cassette tapes wound up in the bin when you bought your first CD. And now music isn't even tangible anymore, right? You just download the file onto your phone. That's tech migration. You've experienced it if you're about my age. Maybe a little younger, certainly a little older. But if you apply that same migration to your carefree cooking journey, you should have a similar path, right? Getting better and better. The technology got better. It got easier to use. And if you think about it, TV dinners from the 1970s turned into microwave dinners in the 1980s. Food actually has gotten simpler. Food's gotten lazier. Food's gotten easier. Honestly, food's gotten worse. Food has gotten worse. This is a negative migration so that we can accommodate the people that don't know how to cook. Are you kidding me? We have things like pre-cooked rice now? Frozen rice? We can't even cook rice? In an effort to avoid real food, in an effort to avoid cooking skills, which hurts my heart, the current food migration has given you worse food, not better food. It's like having CDs in the 1970s and having scratched up LP albums today. But if you know how to cook, this changes everything. You don't negative migrate along with the food if you're confident in your cooking. And if you start shopping at the farmer's market, your food migration is moving forward now instead of backward. You'll start to buy whole food ingredients instead of bottled ones, canned ones, quick use condiments and kits, right? You'll start making things in your own kitchen instead of buying them from someone else's kitchen. Your microwave will be relegated to heating up water and melting butter, as it should be. That's what a microwave's for. Not for making rice. You will start a positive migration of your food, but that journey only starts at the farmer's market. And I love shopping at the farmer's market for a whole bunch of reasons. So here are the 11 facts that will prove to you why farmer's market shopping is better. Number one, it just tastes better. I mean, plain and simple, if you're a fan of good food, if you're a fan of food, for that matter, this is where you find it, at the farmer's market. I mean, it's such a shame that so many people have dumbed down their taste buds with processed, frozen, convenience foods, things that were never fresh. But full flavor food, the enjoyment of it is one of the greatest parts of being alive, no? That asparagus I ate last night, if it had come out of a can, if it had been frozen, what a difference in enjoyment. Bright colors, brilliant eye appeal. The asparagus was green, but it was almost blue, you know? You add heat to things, you smell it, you're involved in the cooking experience. And if you combine that real flavor of a local strawberry, a peach in season, local chicken, even lettuce. Lettuce has so much more flavor from the farmer's market. You will have a greater enjoyment of your food, and that, I think, is a big motivator. Great enjoyment of your food. Yeah, lettuce. Lettuce has flavor. It does. I have this argument with people all the time. People that have been eating iceberg lettuce, which is basically green water, most of their lives can't imagine what getting a good quality artisan lettuce. I mean, it's no wonder that they think all lettuce has no flavor, because their lettuce does not. Number 2 benefit, live in the moment. Pardon. Live in the moment, or at least the season, right? So they're not going to have everything all the time at the farmer's market. That's why you can't bring a list, but that's okay. You don't get your birthday every week. You don't get Christmas every month either. When it's strawberry season, I love strawberries. I eat them like crazy, and I eat them till they're gone. Luckily, blueberry season is right around the corner, and I eat them like crazy, and I eat them till they're gone. Because there's a connection that you experience with nature. There's a oneness when you eat only what's fresh, only what's local, only what's available. I'm not talking about going and living in the forest, okay? I'm not talking about eating tree bark. It's not a granola thing. It is the very first step, local, fresh, and available. Anything else, honestly, is ridiculous to somebody who knows about food. Don't don't bring me stuff off season. Don't bring me strawberries in February. They should not exist. Number 3, farmers are working for you. Farmers are working hard for you. These guys work hard to supply excellent food, and I want my money to go to them. And most often, these are multi-generational farmers. They have a deep sense of pride in what they do. They're not getting rich. I just really resent when people say the farmer's market is more expensive. Like these people are getting rich off asparagus, They may not be getting rich, they lead richer lives, but here's the thing. It costs a lot of money to raise those products, run those tractors, the price of gas, the fertilizers, whatever you might use. And your money, your vote with your dollar, if you spend $100 at the farmer's market, $62 goes back into the local economy. And $99 out of $100 stays within your state. U.S. Department of Agriculture. $100, 99 of it stays within your state, 62 to your local economy. If you spend $100 at your mega grocery store, $25 stays local. So where do you want your money to go? Locally or internationally? Number 4, it's good for the earth, right? Food in the U.S. travels an average of 1,500 miles to get to your plate. That's a lot of jet fuel. That's a lot of gasoline. And shipping food creates a tremendous amount of food waste. Or you have to treat the food. It's waxed or gassed to help lessen the waste and the spoiling effect. Your local farmer, he loves the land. He supports his family. He doesn't wax or gas his fruit. There's no ethylene chamber at your local farm. Corporate farms are the ones doing the polluting. Those are the ones depleting the land. Those are the ones using inordinate amount of resources so that they can make food cheaper and quicker. Food should not be cheaper nor quicker. Food should be better. And the farmer's market gives you that. Number 5, plain and simple, it's better for you. When food is harvested before it's fully ripe, it has less nutrients than the items that are allowed to ripen on the plant. And if you're going to ship your food 1,500 miles, it probably has to be picked before it's ripe. Otherwise, it spoils on the trip. So much of the Mega Mart food is highly processed, grown with pesticides, antibiotics, hormones, things that make them spoil less quickly. One of the things I love about the farmer's market, number 6, it's the serendipity of something new. Your grocery store sells what sells, right? Grocery store sells what sells. Farmers sell what grows. And I enjoy seeing every week at the farmer's market or stopping by that roadside stand, asking the farmer what's coming out of the ground this week and using it in my cooking. My meals are never dull once I get rid of the dental thing. They are now, but they will never be dull when I keep a variety of fresh, seasonal, wholesome foods at my table. Number 7, I'm an animal lover. I can't even listen to stories about feedlots and the way they treat pigs and it's the mistreatment of animals. All right. But now I know I'm a carnivore, so it's a bit of a contradiction. And I'm not enough of an animal lover to stop eating some of them. Sorry, I'm higher on the food chain. It's just the way it is. But if chickens, cows, pigs, if they're raised humanely in sanitary conditions, they're treated well. As my friend Tweety at the Maui Cattle Company says, they only have one bad day. Number 8, you eat your dirt. Now, not literally eating your dirt. You wash your vegetables and stuff. But the minerals, the nutrients native to where you live are the characteristics of the local food. And I believe that there's a lot of credibility to the idea that food from your earth, the terroir, this carries the minerals, the antibodies necessary to keep you and your body healthy. So knowing where your food comes from, the source of the food, is becoming increasingly important with all the things you hear about food safety hazards and global shipping and so on. My friend Pascal Mierve at the Rue Claire market in France told me many years ago, he has the apricots. When the season is gone, he has no more apricots. He moves on to something else. That the terroir is the sun, the soil, and the love of the farmer. That's what it was. The sun, the soil, the love of the farmer makes the best ingredients that he sells in his Parisian shop. I've never forgotten that. I almost forgot it, but I didn't. Number 9, cooking is easier. Cooking is more fun when you have great ingredients. When I vacationed used to in Hawaii, I would cook almost every dinner there, every night, because of the inspiring ingredients. Tons of fantastic restaurants in Hawaii. And people would ask me, you're a chef on vacation. Don't you want a vacation from cooking as well? But just as a violinist would love to play the finest instrument, a Stradivarius, the freshest ingredients always inspire me to cook. And the freshest ingredients, they're also the ones easiest to cook. And they're ones most nutritious. A very ripe item, a very fresh fish is easier to cook than a frozen one that's taken on a lot of water. Again, it's like a Stradivarius, a Steinway piano. I see that fish, I must play it. I simply must play that fish. Number 10, it's a family event. It's no fun to go to the grocery store under the fluorescent lights. Who cares? You don't need a whole family event to do that. But the farmer's market is where people like you, people who care about food, they congregate together. You meet your neighbors. You talk to the farmers. You enjoy the outdoors instead of the fluorescent lighting. You bring your family with you, especially the children, to learn about fresh food and where it comes from and how it gets to your kitchen. So the farmer's market, it makes shopping an exciting adventure. It makes it a treasure hunt. See to the kids, let's see who can find the freshest tomato, the ripest tomato. Get them more involved and put a little bit more thought into your food instead of just let's go pick it off the shelf at the grocery store. Number 11, it's important to me. I try to avoid plastics and packaging. I mean, if you think about how much packaging goes into the grocery store food, the lettuce is on a styrofoam tray with plastic wrap. Fruit is bound in mesh bags. Even the broccoli is sealed in styrofoam. I don't ever understand that. If you bring your reusable cloth bags to the farmer's market, you place your items directly into them, you'll be saving the landfill as well. You know, it all comes down to my 11 benefits. It comes down to my love of great food and the never-ending journey of discovering new foods, new ways to cook them, and new ways to be proud of what I've cooked. It's a treatise. It's a manifesto, if you will, because the farmer's market makes the whole process a lot more thoughtful, a lot more fun, and I think we need a lot more thought in choosing the foods that we eat. I mean, if you love music as much as food, and I do, okay, I always make that analogy. I mean, if you were a musician, if I were a musician instead of a chef, would I buy the cheapest instrument? Yeah, let's get along. Let's get the most convenient pack of strings. Let's get the quickest shortcut to playing the song. No, I wouldn't do that. It's passion. It's art. If I were a musician, I would love everything about playing the music. I would want to explore new and exciting ways to express myself through music or food and cooking. So if your farmer's market is open this weekend, get down there. Check it out. You don't have to buy anything yet. Look around. See who's coming this season. If you see a farm stand on the side of the road, stop and see what's happening and start making it your weekly food habit this season. Because there's a lot of benefits to be had and strategies to employ. Let's go back to the true or false today. So what's the deal? Can you ripen a peach after it comes off the tree? So your peaches were grown in Georgia. They were picked way before they were ripe. They were put on a semi truck and taken all the way up to Maine. Did they ripen along the way? Well, the answer is false to this statement. Kind of depends on how you define ripen, but you can make peaches and nectarines softer in like a brown paper bag, trap any gases that are coming off them, but they don't get any sweeter. Ripeness is when the item gets sweeter as it continues to go through its growing stage. But once you pick a peach or a nectarine off a tree, it might get softer and more palatable, but it's not going to get any sweeter. Unlike apples and pears, right? Pick a pear, sit it on the counter. It gets nice and softer. It gets sugary. It gets juicier, right? The sugar content does not improve in peaches and nectarines when you pick them. And that, again, is why it's so important to get the local fruit that was picked at ripeness and not before. But look, if you know somebody who could use a little outdoor time selecting the freshest and healthiest foods that make your cooking even easier, more nutritious, and more fun, please share this video with them so they can get out of the house and start enjoying selecting their food and the process of it. All right, look, people, this is amazing, okay? People are always thanking me for changing their lives. Thank you, Chef Todd, you changed my life. And I'm not telling you this to brag because I believe it's quite the opposite. I haven't changed anybody's life. I've been doing this 20-something years, haven't changed anybody's lives. People change their own lives. They changed their lives. They had to do something. I can't make them do it. I can't just go over and change somebody's life. It can't be done. But I figure if I can offer a great opportunity to motivate anybody who's thinking about doing something life-changing, then I really need to do it. So this is something I do not do often, and when I do, it is only for a very short period of time, but I'm feeling the need in the new cooking season to get more lives changed. So this week, I'm offering a free trial in web cooking classes. No strings, no catch. If you go to webcookingclasses.com/trial, you'll have the opportunity to see what has been getting the credit for changing people's lives. It's this stuff that changes people's lives, not me. It's unique online cooking classes. And this is full access, nothing restricted, all 48 lessons, plus all the bonus videos, all the printable materials, handouts, guidelines. It's all yours to play around with for free. But again, it's for a limited time and the offer is going to expire this week as well. So if you ever wanted to poke around inside my Cooking Methods Mastery course, the door is cracked open a little bit right now. So until next Tuesday, when we take even more steps toward cracking this Carefree Cooks Code, this is Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's a method to your freshest cooking success.